Heavy rains further influence public life in many areas. Many cultivated lands damaged by breaking of either banks in the Gaza River in Ampara. Minister Bimal Ratnayake says that both the government and the employees should be committed to solve container release problem at the harbour. Talks will be held next month to purchase fuel at concessionary rates. The President says Sri Lanka will be made a hub of exporting fuel. An intensive investigation underway into the online railway ticket racket. Donald Trump leads the USA from today. Nigerian young women players renew cricket records.
Well, topping the stories is the weather situation. Irrigational tanks and reservoirs in many areas in the island are still overflowing due to heavy rainfall.
It is reported that a flood situation has also occurred in the north central and eastern provinces. The Meteorology Department says northern, north central, eastern, Uva and central provinces may receive rains further. Gallala area in Polonnaruwa along the Habarana-Batticaloa road has inundated due to prevailing rains. Our correspondent says that vehicular transport along this road is totally disrupted since the road in the area is submerged up to 4 feet. Only possible public transport between Polonnaruwa and Manampitiya, Valikanda and Batticaloa areas is travelling by train. Therefore, additional trains have been added between Polonnaruwa and Batticaloa. The access road to historic Somavatiya sacred site is also underwater at Sungavila area. Police say that vehicular transport along this road has been totally stopped. All irrigational tanks in the Polonnaruwa district are at spill level at present. Many areas have gone underwater as the Parakrama Samudra, Kaudulla, Mineria and Giritale tanks are overflowing. All the 10 sluice gates of the Parakrama Samudra are open at present, releasing a water flow of 2,800 cubic feet per second to the Mahavali River. Resident engineer says that 12 sluice gates out of the 30 gates of the Rajangan Reservoir have been opened at present, releasing a water capacity of 17,800 cubic feet per second. 2 sluice gates of the Angamu Reservoir are open as well. It releases 680 cubic feet per second to the Kala Oya. 3 sluice gates of the Unichai Reservoir, which is the largest reservoir in the Batticaloa district, are open at present. Many irrigational tanks in the Vaunia district are overflowing due to the prevailing heavy rains. Sluice gates of the Vaunia, Pavakkulam and Kidavarayankulam tanks have been opened at present. This has caused inundation of many low-lying areas in the Vaunia district. Senanayaka Samudra in Ampara is also at the spill level at present. Our correspondent says that the access road to the Vigavapi sacred site and several other areas have inundated. Meanwhile, many crops have gone underwater since the banks of the Gaza River have been washed away.
Minister Bimal Ratnayake, chairman of the subcommittee appointed by the cabinet to draw plans necessary for reducing the congestion in the Colombo harbour, says that immediate action would be taken in this regard, and he made these remarks when he inspected the land earmarked for a customs container inspection centre at Kerawalapitiya. The land reserved for the purpose of the construction of the container inspection centre is more than 200 acres. The minister added that construction work of the centre is expected to be completed within 3 years. A group of officials of the Customs and Ports Authority also attended this occasion. The media spokesman Shulaka Customs Sivali Arugura said that nearly 200 containers can be inspected at a time and facilities to store 1,000 containers until other processes of the inspected containers are to be completed. He also said that the venue can be reached within 10 to 15 minutes by the expressway from the Colombo harbour, and a traffic congestion would also not occur. He pointed out that this is the best solution as of now for the congested harbour. Minister Bimal Ratnayake pointed out that the environment status reports and business studies of the allocated land have been completed. He also said that concerned land is at present under the Urban Development Ministry. The minister added that the land will be acquired from them and it is expected to construct a centre for customs inspection activities as soon as possible. The minister also expressed his views on the present condition of the containers congested in the harbour. The minister said that although There are dedicatedly active institutions available. It's obvious that everyone is not following that line. The minister pointed out that instead of working 24 hours, certain terminals stopped their work around 2 or 3:20 a.m. He added that the land which is under the engineering corporation has been cleared and kept ready with the expectation that lorry drivers could park their vehicles at that venue, but they are still not arriving at that place. He also said that they are keeping around 500 to 600 lorries inside the premises of the harbour. The minister further said that the government expected staff of the harbour would take steps to get them cleared, but adequate support is apparently not being given for this purpose. He also said that if no one is continuing in this regard and contributing. In the meantime, the minister travelled from Moratu to Colombo Fort in an office train this morning without any prior intimation, and during the journey passengers were seen raising issues such as frequent train delays, malfunctioning of electric fans, difficulties faced by people with disabilities, improper sanitation, and also the continued use of outdated and unsafe trains.
President Andrakumara says that talks will be held with Middle East countries to purchase fuel at concessionary rates. The president stated that he has received an invitation to tour in these countries next month for relevant talks. The president made these remarks participating in several public rallies in Kalathura yesterday. Following the information of people-friendly new government, President started a series of meetings to address the public. At the public rally held in Beruwala, the President said that the government's aim is to create a country free of corruption while fulfilling the public aspirations. President Andrakumara said that the government agreed with India to construct a solar power plant in Sampur. He said that Sri Lanka provides the land with an agreement to set up the plant for 20 years. He added that after 20 years, the right of the solar power plant will be vested with Sri Lanka. He also said that the Indian company and the electricity board will share it 50% each. He further said that since Sri Lanka is unable to provide funds from the treasury to construct the power plant, it will be scheduled to set up jointly with an Indian company. President Dissanayake said that in the construction process we have to decide the amount of our part. The president said that earlier it was 7 cents per unit. He said that, however, we held discussions recently and agreed to purchase a unit at 5.97 cents dollar. He added that our aim is to lay the foundation stone without delay. He also said that, in addition, in the fuel tank complex, there are 99 tanks. He further said that 10,000 metric tons of fuel can be stored in each tank. President said that the complex has been abandoned for over decades. He stressed that our national resources are wasted without a proper plan. He further said that after a thorough study, the government drew a plan to distribute fuel in the area with 24 tanks. The Indian Oil Company has been given with 14 tanks under the rental. There are 61 more tanks. Now that our petroleum corporation jointly with the Indian Oil Company are planning to start an oil refinery, the refined oil will be stored with these tanks and fuel will be sold to shipping companies and other international buyers. The president further said that he went to China and a company there has agreed to establish an oil refinery in Banthara at a cost of $3.7 billion. 80% of the products of this refinery will be exported. People of Sri Lanka will have tens of thousands of employment opportunities at this refinery. Sri Lanka will buy crude oil and export fuel after refining them at Hambantota and Trincomalee. He added that the government will, with proper plans, will invest the fuel trade. The government also hopes to strengthen diplomatic ties with oil-producing countries. According to the public will, the people-friendly powerful government has been formed in Sri Lanka. Therefore, these countries have confidence on us to help in economic aspects. The Middle East countries have invited the government for talks. The government is studying to import fuel through cooperation directly with governments. Thereby, he will tour in the Middle East region next month for talks. He will create a strong network of diplomatic relations for the benefit of the country and the people.
The Criminal Investigation Department has started an investigation into the incident of selling online railway tickets at higher prices. The investigation is underway following a complaint lodged by the Railway Department. The Railway Department informs this matter to the Colombo Magistrates Court today. The CID informs the court that the Railway Department has implemented the online sale of tickets with the help of an internet service provider. Further investigations are being carried out under the Criminal Investigation Unit of the CID. Lawyer of former Minister Andrakumara informs the Colombo Magistrate Court today that the former minister will make a statement at the CID tomorrow regarding the South Korea employment incident. The minister's lawyer today presented the anticipatory bail petition of the former minister Andrakumara to the Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali today. The former minister has requested not to arrest him over this matter. When the petition was summoned today, the officer who represented the CID told courts that about 35 statements have been recorded from various persons regarding this incident. He further said that the statements are to be recorded from public officials and politicians as well, and accordingly there is no possibility of arresting the petitioner. The Supreme Court today ordered the petition filed against the former Excise Commissioner M.J. Gunasiri and several others on the 7th of next month. The petition points out that the Excise Commissioner has contempted the courts by issuing new liquor licenses, violating the Supreme Court order. The petition was presented by Gihan Chavendra Fernando, a resident of Gampola area. Well, information spreads through social media in a very rapid manner.
The information may be true at times and can be false. It is the responsibility of the national media to check out the authenticity of such information spread through social media. The news division of the national television is ready to bring a feature program in this connection from today that is titled as the Fact Check. Accordingly, the attention will be focused today regarding the prices of cancer drugs. Social media carries out various information regarding the reduction of prices of medicine. The main focus is about the prices of cancer medicine. Accordingly, it was reported that a medicine valued at 76,000 rupees earlier has been reduced to 359 rupees and 32 cents at present. We made an inquiry from the relevant sections. Deputy Minister Dr. Hansaka Vijayamuni said that as the Ministry of Health, special attention has been paid towards the drugs and especially about the qualitative status of them. The Minister said steps have been taken to provide those drugs at a justifiable price to the patients. He pointed out that the price of a drug called heparin hydrochloride, which is an essential drug in heart surgeries, had been fixed at a maximum price of 76,500 rupees by the National Medicine Regulatory Authority in 2018. He pointed out that the same drug has been purchased by the State Pharmaceutical Corporation at a price of 34,000 rupees in 2019 and in 2020. The drug has been purchased at a price of 35,000 rupees, 41,000 rupees in 2021 at a price of 72,500 rupees in 2022. During the economic crisis in the year 2023, the drug was purchased at a price of 50,776 rupees. The minister added that effort will be taken by Minister to reduce the price of medicine in treating cancer and also pointed out that according to the records of relevant companies, efforts are being taken to provide the medicine at the price of 370 rupees.
ඖෂධ විශේෂයෙන්ම පිළිකා සඳහා යොදා ගන්න ඖෂධවල මිල සැලකිය යුතු ප්‍රමාණයකින් අපිට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා අඩු කරගන්න.
14 persons have been injured in a bus accident on the Serunura Kantale road at Kallar. The accident occurred in the wee hours of today. Well, the injured have been admitted to the Serunura hospital. The driver and 9 others have been transferred to Trincomalee Hospital for further treatment. Due to incessant rain, the bus has skidded off the road, collided onto a tree nearby and overturned. According to reports, the bus was travelling from Kathankudi to Colombo and there were 44 passengers in the bus.
The Chinese Embassy in Sri Lanka and the Chinese Ministry of Culture and Tourism jointly organized a celebration to mark the Chinese New Year in Colombo. The inaugural ceremony took place under the patronage of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. A special delegation comprising 34 members from the Henan Art Troupe and the Sichuan chef team has also arrived in Sri Lanka as part of the New Year celebrations. In addition, the festivities will feature the Chinese Food Festival and the Port City Chinese Cultural Night, scheduled to take place from January 20th to 23rd. During the event, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amrasuriya delivered a congratulatory message from President Andrakumara for the occasion of the Chinese New Year. China's ambassador to Sri Lanka, Shi Shenghong, and several people's representatives were also present at this occasion.
United Businessmen Association says that the benefits of the reduced electricity bill should be given to the people by the businessmen. He made these observations at a special media briefing in Colombo. A businessman said that certain traders are not giving the benefits of the reduced electricity bill to the general public, and it is a major mistake. He added that although the price of any item is increased, that benefit is accrued by the businessman from midnight. But in case it is reduced, they are in the habit of telling that they have only stocks which were purchased before the reduction. He pointed out that the mindset of the business community of this country has to be adjusted in such a way where they are in a position to implement the reduced prices on the same day if they can increase the prices on the same day. Another businessman pointed out that the amount reduced from the electricity bill should not be politicized and converted in their favor. He requested any positive aspect of the government should be appreciated, and an environment has to be created where the shortcomings of the government are also spotted. Well, Rugby's most popular contest among the Andrakumara contest of our country.
The reason for it can be cited as the winners gaining high opportunities in the fields of acting, presentation and other arts. Applications are being received for 2025 Rugby contest. A unique feature has been that a large number has already applied for the contest. The final date for applying is 31st of January. Unmarried young ladies between the age group of 18 to 26 can apply for the contest. The application should be forwarded to the Producer Youth Unit Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Colombo 7, along with a colour photograph and mentioning the name, age, address and telephone number of the applicant. The applicants can also use the www.rupavahini.lk website online. Further information is available by dialing 0112 352726.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that the aim of the government is to maintain a government institutions truthfully, but not as a burden to the government. The minister expressed his point in a special discussion held at the Department of Government Printing. Well, the aim of this discussion is to plan the developmental activities of the Department of Government Printing. The minister exchanged views with the employees after inspecting all sections of the government press. Discussions were also held on the progress of the press and the shortcomings and weaknesses. The importance of maintaining the activities of the government press that provides continuous service throughout 24 hours was also stressed. The minister added that future plans has to be conducted by obtaining the assistance of all trade unions with proper management. A number of officials, including the government printer KG Pushpakumara, participated. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that the purpose of the government is to bring ministries, institutions under them, departments, corporations and authorities to a common working ground, but not to enhance their image. He also said that the government expects to take efforts to bring about a certain cooperation or links among these institutions so that they will be in a position to earn profits. The minister added that the government hopes to progress in a certain level of understanding.
The attention of the government has been directed towards the provision of loans on concessionary interest rates to small and medium-scale mill owners in purchasing paddy. Deputy Minister Namal Karnaratne said that they will be provided with necessary storage facilities as well. The Deputy Minister made this observation participating in the discussion held yesterday regarding agricultural and farmer problems of Ampara district. The meeting was held at the Ampara district secretariat. Attention was also paid to increase the harvest with the assistance of the knowledge of the officials in the agricultural field and the state-of-the-art technology. 41 paddy storages owned by the Paddy Marketing Board of the district would be renovated. Deputy Minister Namal Karnaratne observed that the farming community agreed to provide a considerable amount of paddy to government stores at the rate fixed by the government. He added that the mill owners also agreed to cooperate with the government in the process of purchasing paddy from them. He pointed out that this year This has never happened in the history of the country. The minister further said that the government has already paid attention to provide loans at a concessionary rate in purchasing paddy and, if necessary, to provide storage facilities for them.
The first service review conference of the provincial councils and local government institutions was held recently at the auditorium of the Chief Secretary's office of the Southern Province. Special attention was paid regarding maintaining government service more efficiently without any interference. This review conference is expected to be held island-wide. The future responsibilities of the provincial councils and local government institutions in carrying out the main three activities of the present government would be discussed. Minister Dr. Chandan Aberatna said that one of the responsibilities is eradicating poverty, and he added that the government has identified changing this situation as a main responsibility. Deputy Minister Ruwan Senrat said that the government is ready to protect all officials and every government employee who will mediate in the process of making the programs of the government a real success. He also said that the only aim of everyone is to make the country victorious. Well, that's news at home. We take a short break and we'll be back with international stories.
Now, crowds are arriving in Washington, D.C. ahead of Donald Trump's swearing in for his second term as U.S. President tonight. The ceremony, traditionally held outside the U.S. Capitol, has been moved indoors due to the forecast of frigid temperatures with a wind chill of 13 degrees Celsius. Following the oath of office, Trump will address the nation. Later, he is expected to attend 3 inaugural balls, which are large social gatherings held to celebrate the commencement of the new term of the President of the United States. In the evening, local and federal officials are expecting about 200,000 people to show up in Washington, D.C., a number which could include both Trump's supporters and protesters. Many U.S. senators and representatives will attend, as well as guests of the incoming administration. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, alongside their respective spouses Jill Biden and Dov Emhoff, will also join the occasion. In his final rally yesterday, Trump promised to sign a blitz of 200 executive orders on his first day as president. He stated yesterday that every radical executive order of the Biden administration will be repealed within 4 hours of when he take the oath of the office.
Expected pomp and pageantry from the White House. Moving us to Gaza, Israel says 90 Palestinian prisoners have been released as of today, and 3 Israeli hostages freed by Hamas are reunited with their families, and 4 more Israeli hostages are expected to be released this week, and 3 hostages will be released every 7 days thereafter, it says. Well, one of the first hostages freed by Hamas, dual British-Israeli national Emily Damari, says she is the happiest in the world simply to exist, in a post on Instagram. In a total, 3 Israeli hostages were released yesterday, and 4 more expected to be freed within the next week. In return, as of morning, 90 Palestinian prisoners have been released from Israeli jails. One released prisoner, a Palestinian journalist, says the wait was extremely hard, while another says the female prisoners are strong, but the situation is bad on all prisoners. The first aid trucks following thousands still waiting to enter, the acting director of the US and the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency has told BBC. Well, so far, the war between Hamas and Israel, the Civil Defense Services crews recovered over 38,000 dead bodies and rescued 97,000 injured people from areas targeted by Israel. An estimated of more than 10,000 dead bodies are still under rubble of destroyed buildings yet to be recovered. Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza has released new figures on the death toll in the Strip since the war began, saying it is more than 47,000 Palestinians have been killed and over 111,000 injured.
People have soaked in cold water in Ishikawa prefecture to pray for a healthy air and reconstruction of areas hit by last year's powerful earthquake and torrential rain on the Noto Peninsula. The annual purification ritual took place at the shrine in Shakusan City, central Japan today, the coldest day of the year according to the traditional Japanese calendar. About 20 Shinto priests and others gathered early morning at a place where riverbed water from Mount Shakusan was accumulated. They were wearing white loincloths or white costumes. All the participants warmed up by repeatedly making a rowing movement and chanting loudly. Then they submerged in the cold water and stayed there for about 5 minutes while reciting a prayer. The participants had written messages on the back of their headbands expressing their hope for reconstruction of areas hit by the disasters.
Well, TikTok began restoring its services yesterday after President-elect Donald Trump said he would revive the app's access in the US when he returns to power. Well, TikTok issued an earlier statement after US users reportedly being able to access the service website, while the far more widely used TikTok app itself began coming back online for some of the users in just a few basic services. On Saturday evening, the TikTok app stopped working for American users after a law banning it on national security grounds came into effect. Trump, who had previously backed a ban on the platform, promised to delay implementation of the law and allow more time for deal to be made. TikTok said that it was in the process of restoring the services. Soon after the app started working again, a pour-up message to its millions of users thanked Trump by name. In a statement, the company thanked the incoming president for providing necessary clarity and assurance.
Nigeria recorded a revolutionary victory at the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup tournament today. Nigeria beat New Zealand by 2 runs. This is the first time Nigerian Under-19 women's team takes part in this tournament. The match was played at the Borneo cricket grounds in Malaysia. Number of overs for both teams limited to 13 each since the rain disrupted the match. New Zealand won the toss and decided to field first. Accordingly, Nigeria scored 65 runs in the 13 overs for 6 wickets. Captain Lucky Pite scored 19 runs as the highest scorer, chasing a 66-run target for victory. The New Zealand only scored 63 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. Nigeria managed to beat New Zealand by 2 runs after heavy fight. This is the first victory recorded by Nigeria at the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup cricket tournament. The first match Nigeria played against Samoa under the tournament was also abandoned due to rain.
And back at home, Interclub Rugby, the Air Force and Kandy teams were able to achieve victories in the 2 matches played under the Interclub League Rugby tournament. The tournament is being organized by the Sri Lanka Rugby Association. The match between Air Force and Police was played at the Air Force grounds at Ratmalana. In the first half, both teams were at equal position, scoring 7 each. In the second half, Air Force team became in front by scoring 13 points. The Police team scored 12 points in the half, and according to the Air Force players, were able to record a sharp victory of 20 points to 19. And here's the match between Kandy and Navy tournament, where it was played at Nithawala grounds in Kandy. The first half of the game ended with Kandy leading 38-0. The second half, the Kandy players scored another 28, but the Navy players were able to score only 5 points. The Kandy team was able to win the match 66-5. Accordingly, the victorious team scored their points in 8 goals and 2 tries.
For tonight, join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm the Lanjali, together with Clifford signing off. Good night.
Good night.